Keeping the same subject as my first speech, I decided this time to do a speech over the embalming process. And now, as you can see, we're in the prep room of the funeral home that I work in. Um, Basically, there are two main steps of embalming, and the main purposes of embalming. Number one is to disinfect the body, and number two is preservation and embalming for appearance. First step of embalming is to set the features, which is closing the eyes and making the mouth more lifelike appearance. For posing the eyes, we use what is called eye caps, and what they are basically is just a little plastic eye-shaped cap that kindly helps hold the eyelids in place and keep the eyes from coming open. Also, over the decomposing process, the eyes tend to kind of sink back into the orbital cavity, and this kind of helps keep the eyes a more lifelike shape and appearance. Um, in closing the mouth, what we use first of all, if the deceased do not have dentures or teeth, we use what is called a expression former, which is just a plastic um, piece, kind of like a mouth guard that you would wear during sports. We use that along with rolled cotton, which kind of helps fill in the cheeks and the lips. In order to keep the mouth from coming open, we use what is called a needle injector, and it is basically just a stainless steel instrument that, in conjunction with a metal barb attached to a stainless steel piece of wire, when injecting the barb into the mandible and maxilla, this helps keep the mouth closed during the embalming process until the tissue has a is able to react with the formaldehyde and firm up. The second process in embalming is arterial injection, and in this process we use the right common carotid artery and the right internal jugular vein. The arteries are used to inject fluid into, and the arteries are and the veins are used for the displacement of blood. Um, Using a pump, which is seen here behind me, the embalming fluid is poured and mixed into the tank here and is injected into the body through the artery. And by circulating through the arterial system, it displaces the blood. Blood comes out of the veins. We use what is called arterial aneurysm hooks, and basically it is two hooks that we use after making an incision with a scalpel to search for the vessels. It's used to move skin, fascia, muscle, those types of things from the neck area or any other location that we have to raise vessels. Sometimes the arteries in the neck can be um, sclerotic um, over time with elderly people. This is known as arteriosclerosis, and the vessels become hard, and you cannot use the arterial tube to inject these vessels, so you have to go and locate another vessel in order to inject. The injection process is also performed by using a arterial tube, which looks like this, and it is hooked up to the embalming machine, and this is placed into the artery for injection. Um, Also, to go into the vein, we use a drainage tube, which looks like this. It's just used to go into the vein and help keep it open to pull out clots or anything during the embalming process. The third step to embalming is cavity aspiration and cavity fluid. Using a long hollow needle, which is known as a trocar, this is inserted into the abdominal cavity. It is used to pierce all the internal organs: heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, bladder, stomach. It is used to pull any fluid, anything that is in those cavities distension happening or anything like that over the decomposition process. After that is done, this um, gravity flow injector, which you see behind me, is used in conjunction with cavity fluid, and the cavity fluid is poured into this, and the trocar inserted into the cavities, and we use this to help with the decomposition process in the cavities, where the formaldehyde used in the arteries is not able to reach. Um, Here we use two different chemical companies, Frigid Fluid Company and Dodge Fluid Company. They're both very pronounced um, fluid companies in the funeral industry. Um, Formaldehyde based is what these products are based off of. Formaldehyde helps to um, make a lifelike appearance to the skin. It kindly helps set the skin in place and keeps it from moving, keeps it from decomposing while the visitation and the funeral is going on. Um, and like I said, the main purpose of the embalming process is to preserve the body and make it a lifelike appearance and disinfect the body so that the family can have their viewing times and their funeral ceremonies. I hope this video has helped shed a little bit of light on the embalming process, and I hope you enjoyed.